Hi.
Welcome to the office.
Thank you.
My name is Danielle Wren. I'll be your counselor today.
Okay, I'm Marissa.
Nice to meet you. So we had already filled out, the disclosures, whenever the disclosure statements and, confidentiality. Did you have any questions about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. And then I kind of read the file I was sent about what happened and the situation with you and the firemen and kind of what's been going on. But I really want to get your point of view, and I want to kind of hear, what was going on and what kind of led up to these events.
Okay. For a while, the firemen down the street from me, they have been affecting how I play the piano. And they've been making me mess up and make mistakes. And so I started complaining to my parents that I couldn't go outside. The firemen were joking and picking on me. And they were making fun of me. And it seemed like their whole day was just planned around messing with me. And then I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I started putting in complaints to them, and then I never heard anything back, and so I started putting in written complaints, and then I never heard anything back, and so then I just decided to go contact the police. They didn't say anything, so then I decided I was just going to handle it myself since nobody else was getting back with me.
Okay.
So I went up to the fire station, and I took a hammer, and I tried to break the alarm. But everybody kind of freaked out on me, and we had this big struggle, and I ended up getting taken in restraints to the hospital, to the psychiatric unit.
Wow. So a lot went on.
Yeah.
So I could tell, you seemed, stressed out about that, and, so what made you choose to go and break the alarm, you think?
I was just sick of not being, heard, and I wanted them to give me a response. I feel like they owed me that, and they have been messing with me this whole time, and I'm just sick of it.
What was your intent? Like, were you trying to hurt somebody, or?
No, I didn't want to hurt anybody. I just wanted them to stop. I wanted to be able to play my piano in peace, and I wanted them to stop messing with me. I wanted to be able to go outside again. I was just frustrated, and I just kind of wanted to, make a point, but not to hurt anybody.
Okay. And while we're doing this, I'm just going to take some notes. That way I get an accurate, statement about what's been going on.
Okay.
So it says that, you kind of explained to me how the fireman was affecting your piano. You feel like they were picking on you, like had their day planned around you playing, and you felt like you couldn't go outside, you weren't being heard, and you put in several complaints. You put in written ones. You even contacted the police, but you just weren't being heard.
Mm-hmm.
And then, your intent wasn't to hurt anybody. You just wanted them to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I know that it could be hard, and seem like, what was going on was really affecting you. Have you had any problems in the past of this happening, or anything similar that has happened?
Like with the firemen, you mean?
Yeah, or just, you felt like, a situation had got out of control,
Mm-hmm.
or like somebody was trying to...
No, never before this situation. I feel like there was one situation before. I went on a date with a guy when I was a teenager, and the guy touched me, and so that kind of had me preoccupied for a while, for a few months. But other than that, it wasn't. I don't feel like that was the same kind of situation as this. That was, one incident.
Well, did you tell somebody what this happened?
Yeah, I told my mom about that.
And what did she say?
Um, I don't really remember. I don't know.
Did you tell anybody else?
No.
Okay. Do you feel like you need to tell anybody else, or you feel like you need to
No.
make a complaint or
No,
something
that's
about
been
that?
a long time ago. I think I think that's done, and I'm more worried about the firemen right now.
Okay, so that happened, and you told your mom, but you feel like because it was such a long time ago, you really try to move past that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm hearing?
Mhm.
Okay. Has there been any history of mental illness in your family? Do you know of?
No, not that I know of. My parents, my dad's an arts, he's a sculptor, and my mom's a musician, and we kind of keep to ourselves. But as far as I know, with other family, we've never had any psychiatric stuff.
Okay. Well, it seems like you got a lot of talent from your parents. That's great. And we'll kind of touch on, more things positive aspects that you got going on. Do you have any other issues that are kind of affecting you right now besides the firemen? You feel under any stress coming from anywhere else?
Right now I just feel like it's mainly about all of that. I think, I'm just trying to focus on my piano, my musical career, and that's just all I can think about, and I just want to focus on that, and these firemen are in the way of that.
Okay. Have you ever used or been on any type of medications or needed to be prescribed anything other than over the counter stuff?
No, just like Tylenol and have a headache, but nothing regularly, and no prescriptions.
Have you ever used any type of substances or had substance abuse problems?
No.
Anybody in your family substance abuser?
Not that I know of. Not my parents. And they're really the only people I, know or talk to.
Okay. So let's kind of talk about your academics right now. How do you feel that's going for you?
Well, at this point, I'm just worried. I'm just focusing on my piano career. I'm not actually doing like typical schoolwork. I'm in a conservatory just to play the piano. But when I was in high school, I think I was in like AG, academically gifted program. So I did well. I always had, all A's, and it was never an issue. I focused on school, and I think I did well.
Okay. And let's talk about your support system, maybe surrounding your school and your piano and just your overall life. Who would you say is your support system?
Just my mom and dad. I don't really talk to anybody else. I mean, I take private lessons at the conservatory as a student, piano student, but I don't really see many people there. I just kind of play, and I don't do a lot of talking. It's just my mom and dad.
What about friends?
I really don't have time for that. I just focus on my piano. I don't have any friends, really.
Okay. So, this is all good stuff, and like I said, I'm just taking notes, kind of so that I can get your side and, accurate description of what you've been telling me. So your mom and dad's really your support system, you made good grades when it was in IAG's classes, while you were in school, and you've really just been focusing on your family and your piano, and your parents are really the ones who are really supportive of you. That's what I've been hearing so far. Okay. Let's kind of talk about your mental status, and that's nothing scary. It just means like, have you had any depression or anxiety? Maybe like your sleep habits and concentration. So let's just do one at a time. Have you felt any depression or anxiety lately?
No to the depression. I have been very focused on this situation with the firemen, but I wouldn't say anxious.
What about concentrating?
I don't think I've really had trouble concentrating except when, when the firemen mess up my piano playing, that takes me away from playing, but it's not really a focus issue.
You say the firemen are messing up your piano playing? Okay. What about sleep? Have you been able to sleep good? Or are you having some trouble sleeping?
No. Overall, I think my sleep's been fine. I don't think I've really had any issues with that.
Can you think of maybe anything else that's bothered you or kind of affected your overall health?
No, I really haven't had any, anything other than this stuff going on with the firemen.
Okay. So during this situation that's been going on, did you have any thoughts about harming yourself, like committing suicide?
No.
What about hurting others?
No. I just, even when I went to the firehouse, I didn't want to hurt anybody. Like I said, I just wanted them to hear me and to recognize that I was upset and to hear my complaints. I was sick of not getting a response. I didn't get a response from the firemen or the police department. I just felt ignored.
And I know that may be difficult and that can get really frustrating at times, and nobody likes to be ignored. Does anybody in your family or do you yourself have a history of maybe wanting to harm others or harming themselves?
No.
Okay. Well, I think you've been doing great so far.
Thank you.
Addressing these questions that I'm asking of you, and I know that it could be, a little anxious, going back over this that maybe you felt kind of traumatized by, But we're gonna kind of focus on your strengths right now. We're gonna switch some gears. So, what do you think are some of your strengths that you can pull from?
Well, like I said, I did well in school. I think that I am, artistic. I'm talented on the piano. I would say I'm pretty mature. I like to spend time with, my parents, and I feel like we have good conversation. Yeah, I feel like I'm, focused on and dedicated to my piano playing, and that's about it.
Have you ever tried different, coping skills, or whenever you hear the word coping skills, what kind of comes to mind?
I don't know, like just dealing with problems, I guess. I don't really know.
And how would you deal with some problems that came along? What's your go-to?
I mean, I really feel like I haven't had that many problems until, I guess before, like, when the thing happened with that guy, I talked to my mom. But then with the firemen, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I tried to address people and address my concerns and communicate, but it didn't really work. So, I mean, I know that going into the firehouse with a hammer was probably not the best thing to do, but I didn't know what else to do. So, I guess that's an area I probably need some help.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We can definitely, set that as a goal of ours.
Okay.
And, we can address that. What about self-care? Do you think, like, you are taking care of yourself? And it's like, whenever I say self-care, it's not just, physical. It's also mental.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you address the self-care?
I mean, I don't know if I really have had time to do a whole lot of anything other than, I play my piano, I sleep, I spend some time with my parents. That's about it. So I don't really know if I do much of that, self-care.
Okay. That can also be something we set as a goal.
Okay.
Working on self-care.
That could be good.
And coping skills. And I think, moving on goals, I think that, just having those goals is, great to start with. And that's something that will give us a baseline we can work off of together.
Okay.
Can you think of any other goals you might want to work on? Besides really coping skills and self-care?
I just want to be done with this fireman thing, and I want to be out of the hospital and back home and just done with all of it.
And that's understandable. And us doing this and working together will make that a quicker process.
Okay.
So, but do you have any questions for me?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, well, I definitely am going to look over this, and we'll come up with the treatment plan, and we'll work on, those goals, and such as the coping skills and the self-care, and we're really going to draw from your strengths. So, like you said, you did good in school, you're artistic, you feel very mature, and you have good conversations, especially with your parents. So, I know that you try to communicate, and maybe we can find better ways of communicating. So I know that you did, try to reach out, but then when you went into the firehouse and took a weapon in there with you, some people don't respond to that well because it's not necessarily normal behavior. Mm-hmm. And I know you mentioned that you thought the firemen were controlling your playing and your thoughts and those things. That's not also something one would typically say. Mm-hmm. So that's something else we'll focus on. Is maybe how to redirect that.
Okay.
How does that sound to you?
I think that sounds good. If it, if that's what I need to do to get this thing figured out.
Yeah, and that's the main goal, is to help you and to be able to get you back to your normal kind of routine, and you can take some good skills with you that could enhance that as well.
Okay.
But if you don't have any questions right now, we can look back over this, and you can come back and see me next week, and we'll talk more about the goals and kind of breaking those down, and then talk about your plan as well.
Okay, that sounds good.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.